Well, hello, good evening, and welcome everyone. Welcome to today's live session on generative AI for Excel boosting productivity, hosted by As Yours Education Nest. I'm Aisha Mishra, and it's a pleasure to have you all here with us. In this session, we'll explore how generative AI can transform the way you work with data in Excel, helping you automate tasks, make smarter decisions, and enhance your productivity. Whether you're a professional, an educator, or someone who's just keen to streamline workforce, this session is packed with practical insights and you can start them applying right away. We are honored to have Mr. Raman with us for this session. Welcome, Mr. Raman. On behalf of the whole team of Education Nest, I welcome you to this webinar.
Thank you so much and really appreciate for giving me this opportunity to be on the webinar. My pleasure. While you have given a brief about me, nevertheless, so my friends, all that who have joined, a quick introduction is I bring to the table 35 years of experience in IT and consulting sales, having worked for organizations like Microsoft, Oracle, Hewlett Packard, HCL Technologies. And then what happened? Well, some point of time I said, okay, I need to do something which is beyond just work, and I wanted to do something which is like helping. The best way to do is to teach people. So I learn a lot, I teach a lot. At 58 years of life, when people ask me, Aman, what do you do? And I say, enjoy life. And they say, how come? And I say, I just do something which I love. So for me, there are no Monday morning blues. Okay, good enough, right? Okay, enough about me. Now let's get back to what we are supposed to do for today.
Just
Okay,
a minute, sir.
so
Just a minute before you move
sure.
ahead. Thank you
Hmm.
for giving this wonderful introduction of yours. And of course, we have also made a slide introduction of yours. So, to my lovely audiences, let me give you all a little brief about Mr. Raman. Mr. Aman Kajanji is a generative AI specialist and a prompt engineer with over 3 decades of experience in IT and consulting sales. Having worked with global leaders like Microsoft, Oracle, HP, and HCL Technologies, Aman now brings his expertise to the world of corporate training and coaching. He specializes in making generative AI simple, practical, and impactful for business leaders and teams. Through his sessions, Aman helps organizations unlock efficiency, drive innovation, and future proof skills with a special focus on everyday tools like Excel. Over the years, he has trained hundreds of professionals, helping them transform challenges into opportunities and achieve measurable results. His passion for innovation and commitment to empowering teams make his sessions both engaging and highly beneficial. With Aman's guidance, organizations are better equipped to navigate the fast paced digital landscape and stay competitive. Thank you, Mr. Aman, again for joining this session with us and giving our audiences this very practical and insightful session on the current arena, that is the current corporate world.
Perfect, wonderful. And what you have written really has stressed me out. Oh my God, there is so much of responsibility all of a sudden, right? I didn't know this. Well,
It's all
okay.
your experience.
Nevertheless, friends,
Okay, so
good.
without further
So,
ado, I
hmm,
won't interrupt and let's dive right into the session, sir.
perfect. Okay. So, first things first, let me share my screen. And here we go.
Yeah, it's perfectly visible.
Yeah, it's visible, right? Just give me one moment. I'll put it on the presentation mode. Here we go. Okay. So we begin with, I have got about, I think about 31 slides, but hey, don't worry. I love creating PowerPoint presentations also, but I'm not a big fan of presentations. What we say is death by PowerPoint. Let's not do that, right? I'm just going to touch upon only the key aspects, but we will quickly jump into demonstrations. How's that? Okay. So a formal welcome from Education Nest and myself for this session on generative AI. Well, the idea is a lot of participants come across and say, why generative? What is generative? So the idea is when you ask something to maybe a chat GPT, maybe Microsoft Copilot, maybe Google Gemini, it could be a DAL-E, Perplexity, Claude, it could be anything. There is a response that gets generated the way we interact as human beings. Unlike Google, and I'm not saying no to Google search, no, but When I say something to Google, it gives me a response and say, okay, I've got a million sites in so many microseconds. Good enough. Stop. After that, nothing happens. Here it keeps generating response, which is generative. Good. So what will you learn today? A good understanding of AI specific to Excel, practical uses of prompting. Now, it doesn't mean that you do not know prompting. No, that's not the idea. You, I'm sure, would have written prompts, but the difference here is prompting versus effective prompting. The idea is effective. And how can you do things effective? When you learn a few techniques. So I'm going to show you a few techniques today, which you start applying, it becomes all the more better. It is very simple, like better inputs, better outputs. The third is a lot of productivity hacks. We should keep learning, but assuming that there is something which is mundane, repetitive, etc. Right? We offload it to generative AI. Doesn't matter which tool you might be using, so long as you know the prompting techniques, it's all going to work out. The example which I give over here is, say, for example, you learn driving. Now, does it matter which make, which brand of a car that you're driving? Doesn't matter, right? That's as simple as that. So the agenda is a quick introduction to Gen AI, Excel AI features that you have, some of the demos, and best practices. Best practices will also cover what can you do. Of course, you can do everything with generative AI. Why so? Because, say, for example, we're talking of multiple industries. Yeah, AI cuts across all industries, all industries. It cuts across all hierarchies from somebody who is an intern all the way up to the C suite. It cuts across that. It cuts across all functions, be it sales, marketing, HR, legal, finance, what have you. It cuts across, right? So you can literally do anything. But the important point is, what should you not do, right? Good. Creates new content based on patterns, generates patterns. Something which was not there, it generates that. Now, let me give you an example what we have. So, a couple of months ago, I said, okay, I want to see Tom and Jerry. Now, Tom and Jerry is reality. Reality, as in they're animated characters, but the very fact is we have in the world, even if it's animation, there is animation which has Tom and Jerry. But we do not have any images or something of Tom and Jerry in a temple wearing Indian clothes, Indian jewelry. So I said, I want to see an image of Tom and Jerry wearing Indian clothes, Indian jewelry, and it gave me the images. Of course, now they have stopped it because Tom and Jerry is copyrighted, but the earlier days of Gen AI, well, there was not so much, so I could have generated those images. It can generate text, image, videos, movies, all of this, and this is what we keep seeing every day. But let me give you an example. If you say for example, I give you an example of a four-wheeler. A four-wheeler is a four-wheeler is a four-wheeler? Maybe yes, but no, that is not the case. Why? A BMW, say for example, is a luxury sedan. Can it carry cargo? No. You need a truck for that. Can the same BMW carry 100 passengers? No. You need a bus for that. So we cannot generalize, which means if you say Chat GPT, it does everything, it can do something extremely well. But if you need some special things, then you need to go to other GPTs. Business relevance, it automates repetitive tasks. You can do or make better decisions because your mind is free from those repetitive tasks and you get a lot of insights. Excel's everywhere presence. So in Excel, you have enhanced productivity, and now it is coming up, the demo. Natural language queries. So I come across so many participants who say, oh my God, not again. We have been so tired with technology all these years and years, one more technology. We will have to learn it. And I say, my friends, you don't have to learn it. This is natural language processing. which we know since the time we were born. Talking. Yeah, we use all those technologies. This, my friends, is the first time since the advent of computers, early as maybe 50s or 60s, where we were forced to do things the way computer understood us. Today we don't. We use natural language to interact, and the demo is coming up, right? Auto-generated formulas, smart data summaries, right? Faster reporting, so on and so forth. Good. My promise to you, we get into the demo. How many of y'all are ready? I guess everyone's ready. Good. So now what do we have? I have got so many tabs in this worksheet or the workbook, which is webinar. I've created specifically for you so that I don't miss on any of these aspects. Come, let's look at one by one. Good. Now, the idea here is I have also mentioned a few things here to ensure that I do not forget things. I ensure I remember the specific things, at least what I want to cover. It could be more than that, but certainly not less. Okay. Now, while we are here, I also have an instance of ChatGPT going on. Now, you may be using Copilot, doesn't matter. You may be using maybe Gemini, doesn't matter, right? Understanding the prompt. Okay. So the idea here is I have got dates. Good. Right. Now, this date is maybe in a format which is DD, MM, YYYY, which is DD is 2 characters, MM is 2 characters, and YYYY is 4 characters, which is why you see it as 2020. But if it were as YY, then the year would have been 20, 21, 22, right? That's the basics. Now, the idea here is for this date, I just don't want to just see the date. I want to see the month. You can do it. You will have to go into general. You will have to go into more number formats. You will have to go into custom. Wow. Oh my God. Not for us anymore. So what am I going to say? Plain, simple English, right? Now, where is my date? My date is in column A. Is that correct? So here I go. Where is my data, first of all? Excel sheet. In an Excel sheet, I have the date column that I have dates in column A. They are in the DDMM YYYY format. Help me with a formula that gives me just the month, example, Jan, Feb, etc. So the moment I say as an example becomes a type of a prompting technique. Is this fine? I have just written it in plain, simple English. I copy this and I am going to paste this. Good. Okay. Now I just copy the code. I go to Excel. I enter the formula. This should have been here. Easy. Let me just go all the way up to the end. You see that? Now, if we just hide these guys, what do you have? You have all these guys till January. So you have Jan. It starts with the February year. So you have February. Easy. So what did I do? I wrote it in plain and simple English, which is in an Excel sheet. Why should I say Excel sheet? Good. Now, assuming the fact that you are blindfolded and I have to describe something to you, I have to tell you everything, right? That you are in this room, there's a table, there's a chair, there's a cupboard, blah, blah, blah. So I have to say, where is the data? As simple as that. So in an Excel sheet, I have data here. This is what I have. This is what I want. Good. Let's move on. Now, the idea here is when you have recently bought a mobile phone or you read about a mobile phone, they would have told you, sir, this mobile phone, this has got these cameras, the camera which got inbuilt AI. We would have heard about it. I'm sure you would have heard about it. What is that inbuilt AI? Inbuilt AI means in the earlier scheme of things, when I used to click a picture and the brightness was low, I would have had to go to a photo editing software and manually increase or decrease the brightness, contrast, etc. Now what happens? The camera decides that, hey, the brightness is low. It'll by itself increase the brightness. So I get good pictures. This type of AI, yeah, it is also an AI, and that AI is known as Edge AI, EDGE AI. What does that mean in plain simple words? AI which is a part of any application. So in the mobile phone, you have a camera, and the AI is sitting within the camera is known as Edge AI. Why am I telling you this? The reason I'm telling you that is I go anywhere over here in this data, anywhere, and look at the right, analyze data, click. My hands are here. It selects the data. It selected it by itself. I didn't do anything. Now it says, ask me a question. So what will I do? What is the total 717795? What is the total incident cost? This is the incident cost. This data relates to a factory where some accidents have happened on some part of the body, male, female, it has got maybe your shift, so on and so forth. But, and that is a cost to the company. So I go down all the way, and then what I do just a summation, enter 717795. And what was the response that this gave me? 717795. So plain, simple English, right? Give me a moment. Now you can ask such questions. Not just that, if you say, oh God, what question should I ask? No worries. It will also suggest questions. Percentage of total days lost. Click. Wow, it's created a chart, right? Good. I stop this and again to this. So one is it asks you a question. The second is if you do not know what question to ask, it suggests. And then it gives you insights. What are the insights? Incident cost, incident type by department. Oh, you want a pivot table, is it? Click. There you go. Pivot table created. Incident cost by plant. Click. How is a chart created? Using a pivot table. So for this chart, you have a pivot table, right? And it keeps going on and on and on. And you'll say, oh, Aman, that's it. You created a big excitement, right? Saying that, oh, wow, insights and analyze data. You create such a big, right, hype about it. And only so many, oh, well, look over here. Show all 36 results. Yeah, click. And now it keeps going on and on and on, right? Insert what you want. You just need to know what is the data that you need to analyze. Oh, you had a problem. Did somebody say, I don't know how to analyze data? Is that? Oh, cool. So what we do is I go here. Just give me a moment. I go to the safety data. And because somebody said, I do not even know how to analyze, cool. Select your column headers, Control C. You are not copying the data. You go here and you say the following are my Excel column headers. Tell me ways in which I can. Good. And I am just going to, is it on? Right? The following are my Excel column headers. These are my column headers. Tell me ways by which I can analyze this data. And I am doing nothing but copy pasting. You're worried about the space? Don't worry. It is intelligent enough to understand the spaces, etc. And click. You have got this data. Here are the ways in which you can analyze. So where's your problem? Analyze? What should I analyze? You don't know that? Well, here you go. Trend analysis by date, location, demographic, 8 different ways. Each of them have at least maybe 5 or 6. So 8 5s are at least 40. Here there are 2, here there are 2, maybe 8 4s are 30, 32 different ways by which you can analyze this. Okay, is that it? Tell me more. It'll tell you more. What is it that you would like to analyze? That's as simple as that. Now, the idea over here is, why did I tell you that you can paste this? But why did I not tell you there is a simpler way? What I could do is, let me start a new chat. I could easily say add photos and files, but why did I not do it? If you add a photo or a file, then it can read your data as it is. You don't have to say, this is Excel, these are my column headers. Yeah. But what happens when you upload a file, and that I'm assuming will be a confidential corporate file? And why only confidential? It could be your financial statement. It could be your health record. It could be anything. The moment you upload, it becomes a part of the World Wide Web, which means anybody and everybody in the world can access your confidential data, personal or private. Which is why I started off by saying, what can you do with generative AI? Everything. But what should you never do? Upload any file or photograph. And that includes your photograph for the Ghibli or Ghibli, whatever. What happened? You had it free. So you uploaded a picture of your family. They know who is you, who is a part of your family, who are your kids, who are your relatives. That data is now public. Never ever do that, right? Your images, never upload. Ladies, especially who might be in the group, never upload pictures on your social media which are front facing. Do not do that. Deep fakes are the most dangerous things which are happening. And if they don't uh, do things, I mean, they go to the extent of even including heads of states in deep fakes. We are common men, common women. We will have a problem. Never ever upload. Social media is for you and your family and friends. Never have your social media which is public. Keep it private. Very dangerous. People can stalk you, right? People can create social engineering. Lots of things are happening. Everything, if it is you and your family only, and you and your family should know. Dangerous. Good. Okay. Which is why I do not upload a file directly. I just say, I want to know the analysis. It helps me the ways by which I can do an analysis. That's it. My job is done, right? Now, what if you go for a paid version? For those who are using ChatGPT, a little bit of a walkthrough on ChatGPT. When you look over here, you have different versions. One is a free version, one is a paid version. In a paid version, they say that your data, when you upload, it will be safe, but I would suggest no. If you want to personalize your chat GPT, you can do it. How? Tell me something about myself. Say, question, am I a celebrity? I'm not a celebrity. If it were a celebrity, we can understand that it found this from the internet. I am not a celebrity. So how? Well, so I click here on the left hand side bottom, right? Just give me a sec. And what pops up? Observe on the left hand side, upgrade plan, which is, of course, if you want to go for an upgrade. I do not recommend that you go in for an upgrade because you get adequate free things to do in a day. Upgradation is not required at all. Second, customize your chat GPT. So here is what I prefer. My name, just call me Aman, plain simple. No Aman, sir, no Mr. Aman, just Aman. That's it. So it should call me as Aman. What do you do? I copy this and I go into, just give me a moment. Give me just a sec. See, this is what I've fed in my present avatar. I do blah, 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 blah. So, which is why when I say, tell me something about me, what it does is it picks up things, what I've told it about me, and it customizes. Now you say, Aman, isn't this a dangerous thing? Yeah, it is. Right? Then why did I do? Well, now it's a balance between privacy and doing something fast. Now, say, for example, when I say I am a corporate trainer, is it going to cause me any financial or any other harm? No. Any of these things where I have mentioned, I might even have mentioned I'm based in Bangalore, but these are things which are okay. A lot of people know that about me. So there is no personally identifiable information as in my home address, my phone number, right? All of those things. The next thing which you can literally do over here in customize is what traits should it have? How should it respond? Etc. Etc. Anything else? So go and populate these details so that you don't have to repeat it every time, right? So that was a quick tour about ChatGPT. All other models also give you that. Very important that when we are communicating right now, it's all about what do you say, generative AI, etc. Without saying anything, I say, "Oh, that movie was great. Absolutely, it was a great movie." You'll wonder, what happened to you? You were talking about generative AI. Where did the movie come in from? Question. But instead of that, I say, "Hey, guys, we are talking of generative AI. But by the way, last night I happened to see a movie, etc., etc." Now you know what happens in your mind when I say, "By the way." You know, I'm switching the tracks from this track to another track. And this is exactly what happens when you are interacting with the GPT on, say, Excel, and all of a sudden you say, tell me something about, say, global warming. What happens? Okay. A best practice when you are continuing to talk about Excel, good enough. But if you are talking about any other topic, always say a new chat, fresh slate. Otherwise, your response will be there, but it will not be as sharp as earlier. Good. Okay. So we have done this, right? Now, moving on. VLOOKUP. Okay. So VLOOKUP is something which, for those who know VLOOKUP, will say absolutely. VLOOKUP is the thing. Now, VLOOKUP to Excel is what the Taj Mahal is to Agra, or the Statue of Liberty is to New York. So you say, I went to Agra. Somebody says, stop the Taj Mahal. No, you went to Agra and you didn't see the Taj Mahal. Now, assuming any of you are going for an interview for Excel, the first thing invariably they will ask you is, do you know pivots? Do you know VLOOKUP? You say no. Thank you so much. It was nice knowing you. you're out. That is the importance of VLOOKUP. A quick explanation for those who do not know VLOOKUP. What does VLOOKUP do? So say, for example, I have all these data, student name, email address, city, but somehow somebody has deleted the states over here. Luckily, I have the full list of cities and states of India over here. How will we do it as a human? Think about it. Life will become very easy. Okay. I want the state over here. So what will I first do? State for which city? Ludhiana. Correct? I will first look at Ludhiana, right? Because otherwise, how will I populate the state? Ludhiana. Next, what will I do? I will search for Ludhiana over here. And the moment I see Ludhiana, I see Punjab, I populate Punjab. Good enough? That's exactly the way VLOOKUP works. So I will say VLOOKUP, first value, I put a comma. This is the place where you have the city and state both. I select both. I put a comma. If city is between these, what I've selected, there are two columns. This is column 1, state is in column 2. Forget about other columns. So where is my answer? State is 2. So I put a 2, comma, 0, close the bracket. Then you get Punjab. And what do I do? Double click. Easy. But if you ask me, Aman, what is the formula that I should do for VLOOKUP? Oh, VLOOKUP over here. VLOOKUP C2, comma, FG, comma, 2, comma, 0. What? What was that? Right. Instead of this, if you have to explain this in plain, simple English, wouldn't it be simpler? Let's do that. I delete whatever we have over here. This is something which I've done since donkey's years, literally. So what am I going to do over here? I'm going to dictate. And I've spoken enough in English, right? I'm tired. I think I want to speak in Hindi. Let's do that. मेरे पास एक एक्सेल शीट है जहां पर कॉलम सी में शहर के नाम है और कॉलम डी में स्टेट के नाम जो होने चाहिए वो मिसिंग है. मेरे पास उसी एक्सेल शीट में कॉलम एफ और जी है जहां पर सारे के सारे शहर और उसके करस्पॉन्डिंग स्टेट्स है. बताइए मुझे क्या करना चाहिए. आपका जवाब मुझे अंग्रेजी में चाहिए. That was so good talking Hindi after like I finished a session in the morning, English, now English. Tired, right? It's come up. मेरे पास एक एक्सेल शीट है जहां पर कॉलम सी में, for those who do not understand Hindi, in column C I have got names of states, but in column D the state names are missing. In that same Excel sheet I also have column F and G, which have the full corresponding names of the states. Tell me, what should I do? Because why did I say this? Oh God, I have just joined the workforce today and I don't even know that there is something whether we look up. But does it matter? Okay, quick. You are driving a car. Accelerator, brake, oh God. The third pedal, you forget. Will you stop driving just because you forgot the name of clutch? No. Shakespeare, what's in a name? Doesn't matter. Even if you don't know a name, it'll continue. So I forgot or I don't even know there is a VLOOKUP. Enter. It's giving me an option, which is XLOOKUP. It's giving me an option, which is VLOOKUP. Copy. Easy. Same formula. Formula, of course, will be the same. But the idea is you don't have to remember the name of VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, etc. Doesn't matter. Good? Perfect. Now, because it said XLOOKUP, incidentally, those who are still using VLOOKUP, forget it. Why? Because VLOOKUP is going to be replaced by XLOOKUP. Just FYI, we have VLOOKUP over here. I'm going to do an X lookup. Now, what will I do? I'm not going to chat GPT. This is just the traditional way. Is equal to X lookup. First, I clicked on Ludhiana, comma. In VLOOKUP, what did I do? I selected both F and G together. Here, I'm just going to separate them. Click, comma, click, close the bracket, enter. Because I am selecting them separately, I don't have to give a reference that G is column number 2 when we talk about city. It gives you the response. So I double click. Obviously, I'm going to get this. Now, all of a sudden I said, oh God, I have the name of the city, state, but after city, there has to be a pin code. So what do I do? Insert a column. The moment I insert a column, have a look at column D. So I'm going to insert a column over here. Wow, D has become 0 because where is our man searching for that data in these two columns? There is no data in this column because this column has moved to column number 3. So what will I have to do? I'll have to, instead of 2, I will have to say 3, enter. Now you get it. But what happens to XLOOKUP? Nothing, because you are qualifying this guy separately. You are qualifying this guy separately. Doesn't matter. So have a look at VLOOKUP, or XLOOKUP, sorry. Now, in a lookup, there's also one more thing. V means vertical because primarily our data is all vertical, which means a vertical lookup. But there could be a data which is also horizontal at times. In such cases, it is known as H lookup. What does X lookup do? It does it vertically and horizontally together, my friends. And that is why I am going to bring you to something which is known as X lookup. So what will I do over here? In this case, what was happening? This versus this, everything was vertical. Here, what is happening? I want to find this data, 8785. But what is 8785? It is an intersection of, assuming these are monthly expenses by each of these departments. So it is an intersection of the expenses by the legal team in the month of May. So I am doing a horizontal and a vertical lookup, X lookup. So what will I do? A quick one. How easy it is going to be. So here what I'm going to do is I will say department. Here I will say month. Yes, you do not know data validation. Here goes. So data validation will be under data. This small guy, data validation, list. Where is the data for departments? Sales to marketing. Enter. Do you see a drop down? I don't have to type it anymore. Similarly, month, data validation. Sorry, where's data gone? Data, data tools, data validation. It is a list. Source is from Jan to December. Enter. So now I can choose just the drop down. I can choose just the drop down. And I want to write my formula in this place. Just give me a moment. I will assuming write it in this place. So how will I tell this to ChatGPT? Right? So just give me a moment. Let me just recall. Months B1, BM, A2 to 10. In an Excel sheet, I have got data in an array. The months are from B2 to B10, and the names of the departments are from A2 to A10. The name of the months are from, just let me reconfirm, B1 to B, no, sorry, B1 to BM1. Sorry. B1 to M1. Are you getting it? I'm just describing what it is. And the names of the departments are from A2 to A10, A2 to A10. Where is the data from? Data is from B2 till M10. The data is in the range B2 to M10. I have the department dropdown in cell B12 and the month dropdown in cell B, not B1, sorry. This is it. So B12 and 13. B12 and in cell B13. Help me with an X lookup formula. Why did I mention X lookup? In the interest of time, because if I do not, it'll give me an option which it'll say index match, etc. This is the formula. I copy the code, I enter it. What happened? The departments are not selected. So I say operations in the month of May. There you get it. Operations in May is 6258. Operations in May 6258. Production department in October 1306. Production October 1306. Now copy code. Who wants to write this formula? X lookup, open bracket B2, B12, A2, this nested lookup. A lookup within a lookup is nested lookup. Would you want to do this? I'm sure no. Right? Good. Okay. That brings us to something else. Okay. Conditional formatting. Trust me, a child can do it. Why? It's so easy. Okay. Let's look at it. So I have a range of numbers. Now I want a range of numbers. I'm not going to type those numbers. So I will say use a function known as rand between. Rand is random between top number 1, bottom number 100. It generates random numbers. So I will use this and I will drag it till 10. Here I will drag it till k. Say for example, see how quickly I've got random numbers between 1 and 100 randomly generated. Now the problem with a random number is whenever I change something, like say for example, I write my name, Aman, and the moment I say enter, see what happens to these numbers. Enter. See, numbers changed. So random numbers will always keep changing because what you see here is 11, but in the backend, there is a random number formula that is running. So we have to make these numbers as constant numbers. How do we do it? Control C, right click, paste as values. Now they are no longer random numbers. I mean, they are random numbers, but the formula has been changed. Good. Now, what is the problem? The problem is, what do I want to do? For numbers between 1 to 10, that group, I want a particular fill. So assuming the number is 1, I want the yellow fill. If it is 5, yellow fill. If it is 13, I want maybe a different fill, right? Now in conditional formatting, it is so easy that you can go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules between 1 to 10, red fill. See, it beautifully did this. Now the problem, I'll have to repeat it 10 times because 11 to 20, another number, 21 to 30, third number. So highlight cell rules. Where is it on? Between 11 to 20, maybe yellow fill. And this keeps repeating. I don't want this to happen. This is what I mentioned earlier as a repetitive. So what do I do? Knock this off. Okay, I'm going to select this. Now I'm going to dictate my prompt. Anybody who's into coding, we're doing some coding here. You worried? Hey, who's worried? Hey, relax. Just relax. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll write a code. I'm going to type it or dictate it. In an Excel sheet, I have got random numbers between 1 and 100. The range of the numbers is from A1 till K10. I want you to fill up the cells based on groups. These could be group 1, which could be numbers between 1 to 10, fill in with a particular color. 11 to 20, fill up with a different color. Ensure that no color is repeated. I want all the colors to be pastel colors. I do not want you to tell me how to do conditional formatting. Help me with a VBA code. So what did I do over here? I gave it specifications. Where is my number, etc. And I also put in constraints. What are constraints? You go to a dietitian and you say, I want to reduce 3 kgs. They say, okay, you have to walk, you have to eat this, don't eat this, etc., etc. So you say, okay, every day you have to walk 10,000 steps. So you can say, okay, Mr. Miss or Mrs. Dietitian, I have a constraint. I will eat what you say, not eat what you say. That's not eat whatever. Whatever you tell me, I'll do that. But as far as walking is concerned, I can walk only 2 days in a week because other days I'm on touring. What did you do? You have given a constraint that I cannot walk every day because I keep traveling. That is the constraint I put it, right? I'll just see random numbers between 1 and 100, ranges between A1 to K10, fill up the cells based on groups, so on and so forth. Now, I know this could be a problem because, okay, just give me a moment. This won't work because of the fact that the sheet name here is conditional formatting. Nevertheless, I'll figure it out because, okay, is what? Why am I doing this? Because we look up, ChatGPT assumes the sheet name as sheet 1. So I'm saying the sheet name is conditional formatting. So it'll do it right. Enter. You understand the code? No? Even I don't understand. That's the best part about it. This, my friends, is known as vibe coding. You do coding without understanding. I told you I have an IT background, but that's sales. Shh, it's done that. Okay. Now, what will I do? I've got the code over here, right? What? You'll tell me, Aman, what do I do with the code? It gives you everything that you need, spoon feeding you. It says Alt F1. So I'm just going to follow what it is doing. Alt on my keyboard and F11. Good. Next. Alt F11, insert, module, paste the code. So I copy the code in this, insert, module, Control V, close this, run, run. Magic. Got it. It gave you a code. Doesn't matter. How do I care? I don't know. That's it. You don't know how to drive, but you have a chauffeur. The chauffeur drives. You want to go from one place to another. You don't know how to go. There's a bus. The bus will take you there. You don't have to do everything. Good, right? Wonderful. Okay. Now, what we do? I have got a lot of addresses. I want to split them by the cities. So I want Bangalore to come here, Mumbai to come here, etc. Do you see a pattern? Bangalore, Karnataka pin code. Mumbai, Maharashtra pin code. Kolkata, West Bengal pin code. Let's do something. In an Excel sheet, I have got a list of addresses in column E. The addresses have got the names of cities which are typically third from the right. Help me write a code for Excel that will extract the names of the cities from the full address. Cool? Good. Okay. Enter. Oh, now why did it write the VBA? It wrote the VBA because you see what I said? What you have done earlier, it'll just follow that. So no, last prompt was, I don't want a formula. I don't want you to tell me that do it this way. I want a VBA. This time also it wrote a VBA. But now I will say, I don't want a VBA. I want a formula. This tells us how important it is to ensure that you start a new chat if you're doing something different. Here, of course, it was Excel, but it picks up whatever you had done for the last. Yeah, I'm not reading what it is doing. Copy. Okay, there is some issue over here. It asked me something which I didn't. Do you want me to force it only by spaces ignoring commas since Indian addresses, commas are common and may cause inconsistent results? Um, okay, let me say, does not work. The data has commas, right? My mistake, I didn't read it in the interest of time. I said, okay, just do it. Yeah, I'm mindful of the time. We have about 4 minutes, but let's maximize it. And this is, my friends, just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to show you as we end after this. Hopefully it should work, but there are times it doesn't work because I didn't really read too much on the details. I'm literally rushing through it. Okay, nevertheless. Okay, so this we ignore. And what we do over here, okay, now the idea over here, I'm going to end the session with this. How complex can things get? It is all, my friends, all about the art of writing prompts. Okay. Now here is a data. What is the data? Region, order value, units that were ordered, units that were shipped, customer name, so on and so forth. Now, what would I want to do? I will apply a filter, primarily filter in the traditional way. I want to first check out the north region. So what will I do? I will select only north. Within that, I want orders which are more than 10,000 rupees. So what will I do? 11,000 and 12,000, more than 10,000, I select that. I want to select orders that are active. Luckily in this data, which is random data, act orders which are active. Now I want, having applied 1, 2, and 3, here I'm not applying a filter because both are active. There's no point in applying a filter. So 3 filters I've applied. And then I want to, the problem area, I want orders from the north, which are more than 10,000 rupees, which are active. Based on these filters, find out the number of units that have been ordered. In this case, how much is it? 0. As well as units that were shipped. How much is it? 8. The prompt for this is this. This is the prompt, right? Okay. Now, let me just delete it for the time being. Now, you want to see the formula for that? This is the formula. It is not a Python code. It is not VBA. It is plain, simple Excel formula. Anybody interested in writing this formula? Go ahead. So I'm just going to copy this. Wait for the fun. What am I going to do? Control V. Is it going to just count the numbers of orders shipped? No, it's going to write it in plain, simple sentence. There you go. Let me just delete this guy also. And what do you have over here? You don't have numbers. You have it expressed in a sentence. And now let's look at it. As of 9/11/2025, this is the American way of writing, which is month, day, and year. 9/11, which is actually for us, it is 11/9, 11 September. Today is 11 September. Tomorrow, when I write that, it will become 12 September. Check this out. There are two high value active orders. Two high value active orders. 10,000 and more, I have considered as high value. From the north region, there were total 0 units ordered. 0 units ordered. Is that correct? And 8 units shipped. 8 units shipped. What is the average? 4 units. 8 by 2, 4. Good. What am I going to do? Over here, instead of MMDDYY, which I've already told you, I will change it to DDMMM. There we go. 11 September 2025. Not just that, ending on a high note. How many orders are these? 0. I make this 12. The moment I move into the other cell, how many total orders are there? 0. I go into another cell, this becomes 12 units. Do you see that? Let me add maybe 3 over here. It should be 15. Enter, becomes 15 units. From this 2, it becomes 120. Enter. So 120 and 6 is 126. What you see? The average is 120 and 6. The average is 63. You get 63. So that brings us to an end to the session. 5:01, right? On time. So this brings us to the end of the session. But there is a lot more in Excel. I didn't even cover the tip of the iceberg. Well, over to my friend over here.
Thank you, Mr. Raman. I believe that was a very insightful session from covering to Chat GPT and then to going to VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. I know the people who are in corporates, VLOOKUP is a kind of pain in the head for them. So you have kind of, sorted it in a really good way. So we have few
Thank you.
questions over here. I guess we'll
Certainly.
take them one by one. So starting with, can you share a simple real world example where generative AI in Excel saved a lot of manual effort?
Hmm. So, say for example, if I could just look at it, if you give me a moment, I will like to actually show the real stuff. Just give me a moment. You'll have to bear with me. I share my screen, and in the meantime, business, soft skills, AI, chat GPT, no, complex prompts, and just one moment. This is Excel S, right? This is the one. I think this is the file. Okay, so the challenge over here, this is a real file from a customer, no changes at all. I cannot name the customer, obviously. Oops, I'm so sorry. It's mentioned here. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, this is the file. Now, what was happening is, in this case, the customer had to do away with, and this is a weekly thing that they used to get. This was unnecessary. They had to delete this row. Second, this particular row, is it also merged? No. So this also they had to delete. Next, what was happening is this YZAG is merged. So they had to unmerge it. Now, while it might seem easy, it is easy. But imagine the number of rows that you have over here.
Yeah, right.
So you have to unmerge it. Now I do unmerging. Good. So I have unmerged it. Now, where is this supposed to go? This is supposed to go in column B. So I insert a column. I drag this zigzag over here. The moment I drag a zigzag over there, there is a blank row that is created again. So I have to delete that, maybe even this blank row. Then unmerge this guy again, keep repeating. A VBA code which just one moment. Ah, um, so it wasn't easy for me because those were the early days when I was kind of writing. But if I drag this, this is all that I kind of did early days. And eventually this was the formula. What you see, it's a VBA code, right? This was it. It saves hours and hours of effort. Real life case, right? Okay.
Of course, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for that answer. We'll move on with the for the next question. It says, how can AI help someone who is not very advanced in Excel but still wants to work smarter?
Okay. I just proved it.
Yeah.
So doesn't matter. This is the simplest time, or this is the time when you don't have to do things as per the computer wants it, the software. Natural language. Use natural language. I spoke in Hindi. So if you are not comfortable in English, and come on, English is not a mother tongue, right? You speak in your language, whatever response you get, you say, I want a response in this language. It does it. How simple, how easy it can get. That's it. I already proved it to you. Not because, yeah, I do have practice. With practice, you can just do it. Try it out.
So what I believe sir is trying to say here is, and of course in his sessions he has, I am not someone who is very proficient in Excel, but I understood a lot. So I guess it's all about practice and it comes with time. Thank you, sir. Let's take another question. It says, can generative AI handle dynamic real-time data sets in Excel without compromising performance?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Now, say for example, what I did was conditional formatting, right?
Mhm.
It did that. It worked beautifully. But I was rushing through it in the interest of time. But say for example, if I have a number which is one, and one has been given a fill of say pink, one is pink color. Now, in conditional formatting, what will happen is when you change 1 to maybe 15, and 15 that set is a green, it will not become green. So, what you can do is you can write an extra prompt saying that, oh, when I am doing this, the colors are changing, but they are not dynamic. It will give you an extra set of, code which you paste in. Now, because I know it, in the beginning itself, I say in this, I want the numbers to change as, sorry, colors to change as numbers change. I want it dynamic. It will make it dynamic. There is no performance degradation, no matter how big your data is.
All right. Moving to the next question. It says, how does AI handle sensitive or confidential data in Excel? Are there any security concerns?
Yes, I covered security concerns.
Yeah.
So the idea is, what are you using? If you're using the free version of any tool, uploading data is a no, no, no. Even for that matter, I told you that if you're uploading data, your family pictures, etc., on Instagram, etc., do not do it. If you're doing it, keep your accounts private. Privacy is of prime importance, number one. Secondly, if you have got a paid version, you can, there is a way where you can say that I do not want my data to be shared. But if you ask me, can I sign on that? No, I will not sign on that, that you are using a paid version and they will still not take a part of your data. I will not sign on that. I cannot trust. So I will say no. So the best way to do it is, do not give your complete data. Give only the column headers. It will tell you how to analyze it. Use edge edge analysis, edge AI. I showed you how to do it. Do it that way, but never ever upload not just your corporate data, your financial data, etc. For your financial data, assuming a credit card statement or a bank statement for an entire year, you can do it. What do? Your bank account, your name, address, phone number, email, delete all of that from an Excel sheet, then upload. Who knows? You bought from Swiggy or I ate from Swiggy, doesn't matter. Personally identifiable information should be deleted.
All right. So there's another question. It says, to what extent can AI predict errors or anomalies in large Excel models before they occur?
Uh, okay, so here um, it can, based on prediction. The idea here is if the data is pretty large, there is a lot of inputs that you need to feed in. For predicting something, you for predicting as much of future, you have to go as much into past. Say, for example, today I am starting a company and I'm floating an IPO. Will you invest in it? No, there is no background. But if Mukesh Ambani does that, you will say yes, because there is a background.
Yeah.
And what is that background? The background about Reliance's performance for all these years since maybe 78 or 79. So when you want to look at forward in terms of prediction, etc., it can do it. You have to feed it in so much of data, and then you'll have to go into statistical methods also to figure it out. It's not like feeding in the data and tell me something. No, it will not do it.
All right. Another question says, sir, could generative AI eventually replace the need for advanced Excel skills, or will it just shift the skill set required?
Now, it will shift. Not just that, the traditional way by which we have been doing Excel will eventually shift. Say, for example, any latest version that you have of Copilot, you have a function which is known as Copilot. So is equal to, we used to say sum cell A plus cell B, right? We used to do that. Now, if you have the latest version of Excel, you can say is equal to Copilot and then describe what you want. So it will eventually change the way in which we have been even using Excel. Yes. And people who have these skills will be the most sought after because they are the ones who have the skills, who have the knowledge, who have the competency to do things faster and much better.
Of course. One more question, sir. Are there any free resources for or student versions available to try these AI features?
Yeah. So yes and no. ChatGPT by far, it's for everyone. You can use it for free. Um, if you are using Airtel, Airtel gives you 1 year of student usage free for Perplexity. You just need to go and redeem that. Even if you're using, I think so, a prepaid version of Airtel also. Sorry, not a version. I'm so sorry. I'm so much into a prepaid. What do you say? Prepaid, whatever that is. I missed the word. Yeah, if you're a prepaid customer of Airtel, that should still be on, where you get 1 year of Perplexity free. That is for students, but you have to provide some ID and all those kind of things. Most of the models, there is something like ChatGPT on a daily basis. You get something or other free. Now, the models are ChatGPT, models are Copilot, you have got Gemini, you have got Grok. Grok is part of XAI, which is Elon Musk. So use these models. By the way, if you just use one model and you say, I believe only in this, you might be grossly mistaken because not one model can do everything. If you have a problem in a particular thing, try it with a different thing. You might just get a solution like this. So try different models. So by far and large, if you're not really an extremely heavy user, I don't suggest you buy any of these. There's no buying. There's a subscription. Don't go in for it. But Perplexity, yes. Check out your Airtel app for that.
Yeah, I've seen those ads also. Airtel is offering free for students for
Yeah.
Perplexity Pro. Sir is
Students.
really right.
Yeah.
And one more question is from someone. Where can I download this file? Well, these videos are available on our YouTube channel. You can watch it your way, forwarding, pause, and see the sessions and whatever Sir has teach. So, with this, we have come to the end of this session. Thank you, everyone who is joining us today and made this session very engaging. A big thanks to Mr. Aman for sharing his expertise and showing us how generative AI can be a game changer in Excel, which will help eventually help us work smarter and harder. Thank you
True.
so much, sir. On behalf of the whole team of Education Nest,
My pleasure.
I congratulate you on this very big session, and thank you so much for joining us for this webinar.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening. See you. Bye.
And to everyone who have found this session helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay updated for more such events and learning opportunities. And you can connect with Mr. Aman also on his LinkedIn. And if you have any further questions, you need guidance for any AI tools in your projects, you can comment in our videos and we'll bring such more informative sessions for you all. And Aisha Mishra, will meet you again next week with a next webinar and a very innovative topic. We look forward to have you us all join in the future sessions. Till then, thank you once again and have a productive day ahead. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.